Hello everyone and welcome to another Lords of Limited YouTube video. My name is Ben Werney, aka MisterMetronome here on the Lords of Limited channel, and you are watching a best of one premiere draft. As a reminder, if you like our content, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section. Any and all of that helps us out. So checking out our pack one, pick one here, we've got Liliana, Waker of the Dead as an option, Planeswalker Mythic Rare. I have not seen this card on the battlefield yet on my side or the opponent's side. That's not true, I've seen it once. It was pretty good for my opponent. It's not that hard to get cards in your graveyard. Selfless Savior is great in any white aggressive deck, as is Anointed Chorister. Selfless Savior would be the better pick. The rest of the commons are pretty bad here. So for me, this is between Liliana and Selfless Savior. I don't know about this card in best of one. So 4 mana doesn't really affect the board unless you have stuff in your yard. I think I'm just gonna take Selfless Savior, which feels kind of bad, but I think that's a nod to where black is at in this format. I think Selfless Savior is just going to be a better card more often than not. Okay, and immediately we are going to follow that up with an Eliminate, which is not the best signal in the world to send, but this is a primo removal spell in the format. This is 1 and a black for an instant, destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. Very good card. You could think about Feline Sovereign here as well. I think 2G for a 2/3 gives other cats you control +1/+1 and pro dogs, and then also blows up an artifact or an enchantment for any cat you control that deals combat damage to a player. So I think that's the next best card after Eliminate, but pretty weak pack overall. So we'll take Eliminate here as a primo removal spell and see where we go from here. All right, not great options again. Pretty weak pack here. So a rare heroic intervention is fine. 1 and a green for an instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. I don't love it. I think it's like kind of interchangeable with Titanic Growth and other things, like just strictly worse than Feat of Resistance. I think not strictly worse, but I think a lower pick than Feat of Resistance in the format. I think I'm just going to take Daybreak Charger here. Would like to get into a white aggressive deck if I can. There's 2 uncommons missing here, so we don't really have any information about signaling yet from our neighbor. So I'm going to snap up the Daybreak Charger and see where we go from here. Again, this pack is real bad. So our rare Discontinuity, 3 blue instant. As long as it's your turn, it costs 2 blue less to cast, and you end the turn. So you can either use this as kind of like a fancy counterspell on your turn for 1 and a blue that ends your turn, or you're paying 3 blue oftentimes on your opponent's upkeep or something to end their turns, essentially as a 3 blue time walk. None of these cards are exciting at all. I think I'm going to take Havoc Jester as the best card in the pack, but I am pretty unhappy about it, to be honest. Things not getting much better here. So rare and an uncommon and 2 commons missing out of this pack. And far and away the best card is Skeleton Archer. So looking like maybe we should have started off with that Liliana, but I stand by that Selfless Savior pick in the moment. Skeleton Archer's good in best of one. I would prefer to not play black, but I mean, if that's what we're seeing, that is what we will draft. So Skeleton Archer, get on in. Again, another really weak pack here. So Traitorous Greed, 3 and a red for a sorcery, gain control of target creature until end of turn, untap that creature, it gains haste, and you add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. This is a good card. I think I'm going to take it, and maybe we go black-red, we'll see. But Secure the Scene, I'm hoping to never play. Like, all of these cards are just really bad. So the rough thing about seeing weak packs like this is that we're also just not getting good signals, right? Because the packs are so weak, we don't know what's open. Here, Anointed Chorister is far and away the best card. This gives us outs to be any combination of white and black and red. So I think I like picking this up here over cards like Rambunctious Mutt and Keen Clydemaster. There's just not a lot else of interest. I mean, Titanic Growth is a good card that I would play in a green deck, but it's not going to be the first green card I pick in a draft. So Anointed Chorister, get on in here. Ooh, this will be the first green card I pick in a draft. See, this is what I mean. Like, so either my pod just underrates this card, or green has been open this whole time and the packs have been so weak that we've just not seen good green cards, which I find a little hard to believe, but not totally crazy. And this is good enough that we're going to take it here and would be willing to try to draft green-white just with 4 playables. I mean, I don't think that's a crazy place to be for how weak that pack was. And here again, we snap up another playable in Titanic Growth in green. So World is our oyster right now. And this is not where you're hoping to be in an M21 draft, you know, like evenly spread across 4 colors at the end of pick 9. But I do think we have lots of good possible routes to go down. So feel good about it from that regard. All right, Direfleet Warmonger wheeling is a pretty big deal. I mean, that means nobody's drafting black-red exactly. Not necessarily that black and red are open, but that nobody's probably drafting black-red. Because this was a fairly weak pack to start with. So I'm going to snap up the Direfleet Warmonger. We'll see if we go black-red. We'll see if we go green-white. We'll see if we go black-white. Who knows? World's our oyster at this point. Short Sword wheeling is fire. That's 100% to make my deck. This is way too late for Short Sword to go, in my opinion, in this format. Nothing of interest here, really. I think the most powerful... Actually, there's a world where we go black-white and want to Revitalize. I think it's unlikely, but I'm going to take Revitalize over Light of Promise. Walking Corpse is a playable, sure. Bunch of nothing, and a bunch of nothing. Okay, so we need something good to give us some direction, and we do not get it here. This is a pretty bad pack 2, pick 1. Gourmand is the best card in the pack. Could steer us towards that black-red route, but we saw the late green at the end of pack 1. We're not taking Swift Response here. Like, I would most like to be white, but white felt the most cut to me of what we were doing there. I guess I just take Gourmand as the best card, and then we really need to hope Deathbloom Thallid or Skeleton Archer wheels out of this pack. Could take Truffle Snout, but I'm not in love with where we're at as far as green-white aggro goes to be picking Truffle Snout pack 2, pick 1 over a card like Gourmand. And there is a world where we feel the ripple effect of passing that Liliana in pack 1 and that maybe black has cut this pack, but again, I don't think that means that we should have picked Liliana in the heat of the moment. Let's take a look at who's in the pod here. See if there's anyone we know while we're waiting on some packs. Nope. All right, so best card in the pack is far and away Scorching Dragonfire, so I think we will take that here. Looking like maybe we're going towards that black-red route. We'll have to see. There's also Sea Striker as a good white card, but again, we're not quite deep enough into white. I like our red better than I like our white right now, I think, is how I would frame it. So Scorching Dragonfire over a bunch of playable white cards, but not outstanding. And then we'll see what comes from our neighbor here. So despite getting late green, it feels like green is pretty unlikely. So here's one of the ways we get into black-white. And again, this looks like a bit of a mess, but I don't think it's actually as big of a mess as it looks. Not that that's like super confidence inspiring, but if I hide some cards, we've got a good deck in any color pair of these 4 things. So mostly we just need an incentive to go in a direction, and unfortunately I don't think Indulging Patrician is good enough with what we've got to say that this is our direction. I think I kind of just want to take Hobblefiend here. Feels like my gut is telling me that red-black is where we're supposed to be, and I think I'm going to follow my gut. Hobblefiend makes Traitorous Greed better, makes Havoc Jester better, all that sort of stuff. Sort of works with Gourmand. There's good black cards we could wheel. All right, we're going to... Why are you here, Drowsing Pteranodon? All right, so this is, again... we need a Ben Warney waffle emote if we were on Twitch. So, Drowsing Pteranodon. I don't think we can take it. I think we got to pass that, which feels really bad for Hobble Fiend here. But I think that's what we are supposed to do. Get Hobble Fiend in and then draft red-black in pack 3. I feel pretty confident that we're not white also, and that makes me less interested in Drowsing Pteranodon as well. Like, if our deck looks like this, it looks like a lot more exciting of a deck, right? And then picking up the second Hobble Fiend makes our Traitorous Greed just that much better. So I think we're going to stay on target here and commit to red-black. And we're going to take another Traitorous Greed here. I have not really gotten to play like Steal and Sack red-black with Traitorous Greed, so that could be pretty sweet. And certainly would be a reason to try to pick up more Hobble Fiends. Sanctum is far and away the best card in the pack here. 3 and a blue for the Shrine. This is the best Shrine. I'm pretty sure it's the only reason that you would want to draft Shrines. I mean, the red one is equally as powerful as this, but you need the blue one to make the red one good. So I think once you get the blue one, you can think about trying to do Shrines if you want, but I still am on that more as an escape route from a difficult draft than a primary strategy, if that makes sense. I'm seeing a bunch of late white here, so we could have done anything in our seat, really. It's awkward that we got a lot of good commons, but we didn't ever get anything that really was enough better than anything else that made us go in a certain direction. So I essentially just sort of chose red-black for us. I think we could have gotten there on a playable deck if we chose green-white, white-black. We could have made pretty much anything work. But I like where we're at right now, and I'm going to take a Sure Strike here. Whoa! We chose correctly. Scorching Dragonfire, pack 2, pick 7. This is probably the best common in the format, I think. And thrilled to pick it up here. And we're seeing good late white, playable green, etc. And not seeing a lot of black this pack, which probably means we will reap the rewards of black in pack 3. I'm hoping. Because the word is out about black at this point. Whoa! Nobody on blue-red spells at the table, it seems. But we did not see much good blue in pack 1, so maybe our neighbor is blue-red and is getting hooked up. That's crazy late for both those cards. Let's get a Cur into our pile. Hoping to not... actually, I'm fine playing that. Whoa. We wield both Deathbloom Thallid and Skeleton Archer and Archfiend's Vessel. So we're going to take Deathbloom Thallid here as 2 bodies, and I think just a better card than Skeleton Archer. You can get pretty clogged on your 4 in black if you're not careful, because the Crypt Lurker, the 3/4 that lets you sack a creature or discard a creature, is also playable in the 4-drop slot. So Deathbloom Thallid, get in. Wheeling a Gale Swooper feels bad, man. We're going to take a Blood Glutton and continue shipping the white, hoping to set ourselves up for a great pack 3. I'm going to take Patrician just to disabuse anyone of the idea that they should go into black-white. I doubt it's probably too late for people to audible at this point, but want to just take that off the table. It's way too late for Riddle Form. We are actually going to ship that along, I think, for somebody potentially. And we'll take a Rambunctious Mutt here to try to tell our neighbor, hey, you should be in blue spells. All right. Heartfire Immolator is perfect in this deck. It's a premium 2-drop, works very well with our Scorching Dragonfires. Also makes something like Furor, the Bitten, whatever the +2/+2 enchantment is, super playable if we wanted to go down that route, and just plays well with Havoc Gesture. Just very good with everything going on in red-black. It's just a premium red common, or red uncommon rather. I think the best red 2-drop at uncommon or common. So Immolator, get in. Would like to wheel any of these 3 cards, and honestly, probably not Kinetic Augur. Any of these 3, we would be thrilled to wheel, and maybe even a Sky Scanner. Okay, so we've got a choice between Hooded Blightfang, 2 and a black for a 1/4 Death Touch. When a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker. So not outstanding, but good. I think we just want our 3rd Hobble Fiend to go along with 2 Traitorous Greeds. Seems right to me. And then we would be thrilled if we wheeled a Turret Ogre, but wouldn't miss it that much. And again, you see, like, we're seeing This is such a weird draft. Like, we saw a lot of good cards, but we never saw anything that said, hey, do this. We never got a busted rare or one of the best uncommons or anything like that. The closest thing we got to that was like wheeling Direfleet Warmonger, I think. Our neighbor did not get the blue memo. I mean, who knows? They may have been too far along in whatever they're doing to switch, but this pack is fairly concerning here. I guess, I mean, not really. There's a rare and an uncommon missing, so we don't really have much information about what was taken out of the pack, but unfortunate pack distribution here, I guess. We'll take a destructive tampering. Is that even true? I think I'd rather have a cage zombie. We'll put it in the sideboard for right now. All right, I think we want 4 Hobble Fiends in this deck if we're running the 2 Traitorous Greeds, and I think we are running the 2 Traitorous Greeds. So 4th Hobble Fiend, get in. This is a deck that doesn't come together often because Traitorous Greed's an uncommon, and I don't think you often get 4 Hobble Fiends either, but I'm very curious to see how this goes. It looks like it could be a thing. All right, did we get a Havoc Jester now? Sanctum is cute, not good. Even if we took one and tried to wield the other, I think it's just worse than putting a second Havoc Jester in our deck. If we get 2 Havoc Jesters out, the game's probably over anyway in short order because the games end pretty quickly here. But when you sacrifice something, if it's dealing 2, you are starting to really do it. So second Havoc Jester, get in. All right, and looking like we chose a good lane here. I mean, we're still seeing some good late white, and it has, other than that, the prowess thing that we saw, blue has not been super open again this pack. But Deathbloom Salad, a premium pickup here, and honestly, we would play a Goblin Arsonist in this deck, I think, but Deathbloom Salad offering us 2 bodies is a better card. We could think, I guess, about Chrome Replicator with the 4 times Hobble Fiend, but I don't think I want 3 5-drops, and the Havoc Jesters, I think, are just better than the Chrome Replicator. Okay, this is interesting. So we could take Witch's Cauldron. I don't love that. Plays well with the Traitorous Greeds, plays well with the Havoc Jesters. We could take a Finishing Blow. I don't love that with the Greeds. I don't know what I want here. I'm going to take Goblin Wizardry, but I'm not happy about it. All right, I'm happier about it after picking up this Battle Rattle Shaman. I think this is a very nice way to play with Goblin Wizardry. Goblin Wizardry is never going to be larger than 2/2 in our deck. And I found that this card just doesn't play very well unless you're comboing off with it in an aggressive manner. And it is busted when you're doing that, but that you don't get to do that often. So Battle Rattle Shaman, a very nice pickup there. Ooh, we wheeled a lot of the cards we wanted, so I still don't think I'm going to play this Goblin Wizardry, honestly. So, and we're hoping to not play Walking Corpse. I think I just want an Alchemist Gift. There's another Skeleton Archer we could wheel, and there's the Goblin, the 1/1. Oh, well, if I were a good drafter and I knew we had a chance of getting another Alchemist Gift, I would have taken Magmut there, but I am not. Alchemist Gift, get in the sideboard. Maybe I'll run 2 of these. I don't know. I really do like Alchemist Gift. Probably not without multiple Skeleton Archers or Mog Fanatic. Not Mog Fanatic. Mog Fanatic's an old card. Crypt Lurker, probably not. Destructive Tampering, probably not. Transmogrify, probably not. Okay, so wish we had a Magmut and an Alchemist Gift. And we didn't wheel the Goblin card. Where are we at from a creature perspective here? We're at 14 creatures. Double Alchemist Gift, I think, is just good. Anything out of our sideboard that we want. I think the second Alchemist Gift is probably the last card in. Is there anything out of our sideboard that we would want over that? Cage Zombie is a way to push through damage, maybe? I don't think we're going to be in that sort of a scenario with this deck, though. I think I just want to run 2 Alchemist Gifts. Giving something lifelink in a race, I think, is going to come up fairly frequently in best of 1, and we'll see. I mean, I would rather... Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I think I just want to run this with 17 lands. I think we could, you can think about running 16 in best of 1 and all of that, but we want to hit our land drops. We've got 2 Primo 5s to hit. I would run a Thrill if we had it, but I think this is where I want to be. So if we were adding a card, it would be Goblin Wizardry and running 16 lands. I just don't quite think it's worth it. So let's get some lands in here. Swamps. I think we want to go 9-8 in favor of red. Some mountains. And what do we want to get on the old deck box? Some Traitorous Greed action. And we'll see you guys in the rounds. All right, we are here for round 1 with a keepable hand. Opponent Catfish Hunter is on the play. Feeling great about having 17 lands in our deck right now. They're leading with an Arcanist, so we will probably lead on Kerr so that we can theoretically attack into that if we need to with open mana and the opponent can't block. Because Hobblefiend gets bricked. All right, so here's the question. Do we block or do we attack? Are we willing? Yeah, we attack here, right? We only push 1 damage, but that's okay. If they block, do we pump mana into it? I don't think so. And then we play a Hobblefiend and a Short Sword here. Rewind? In best of 1. Really? Okay. Short Sword. I'm going to be really impressed if our opponent has another thing to do. 4 mana counterspell, I feel pretty strongly, is not where you want to be in best of 1. All right, here we are going to suit up our Kerr and bash on in because we don't have other plays. And if they don't block, I do think we're pumping the 2 mana into it. It's either that or hold up eliminate. I mean, I think I'm doing it. I feel like something bad's going to happen here. Sure. That's better than us getting 2 for 1 or 1 for 1 with a spell, essentially. So lands will be good draws because we want to get Havoc Jester down stat. I think we'll do that. Equip a Short Sword with our mountain and hold up an Alchemist Gift. Unclear what our opponent is doing other than trying to stay alive. They're playing some pretty defensive cards over there, which I think is good as a blue-green deck. Typically, blue-green, I'm thinking Teferi's Tutelage or something along those lines. Sure, that resolves. It's not great for the home team, but not the worst either. DBT here. What do I want to do? I guess we attack. Our opponent's going to block, and then we Sure Strike. I could also just let it bounce off. Whoa, they didn't block? That's crazy. All right, let's play a Deathbloom Thallid. That's good for us that they didn't block, because we want to push that damage and advance our board. Meteorite blowing up Deathbloom Thallid. Feels bad, but not a huge loss, honestly. My opponent spent 5 mana. Ooh, that's concerning. We are getting buried in card advantage a little bit here. So let's go land attack again. If they double block, we'll use Alchemist Gift and just have kind of an inefficient turn. And if they don't, great. And we'll probably just let it bounce off if they single block. Boom, baby. So Alchemist Gift blowout. Unfortunately, honestly, I wonder if it's better to... No, it's just better to Alchemist Gift. So +1/+1 and Death Touch. And like we talked about on the Lords of Limited episode, this is where you want to, this is the situation where you get to blow the opponent out, right? When they're tapped out and you're attacking and you've got a combat trick in hand. So it's trying to set that scenario up as routinely as possible. So the opponent was up a lot of cards on us, but they're not as much anymore, and they're still behind on board. Now, am I worried about this Maze Mind Tome? 100%. So I still don't love where we're at. Oh. Lol. All right, 0-1, and we will see you in round 2. All right, we're back for round 2 after getting stomped by Ugin. So we're sitting at 0-1, and we've got a keepable hand here. We've got the Hobble Fiend, Traitorous Greed, Tech. And drawing Havoc Jester feels good with 4 land in hand already. So this is a nice little curve. 2-drop, 2-drop, 4-drop into 5-drop, presumably. Ooh, interesting. I think I like Heartfire Immolator more than the second Hobble Fiend. And we'll go to combat and smash. To damage, pass. Sure. So hopefully the opponent doesn't land a blue Sanctum here. Teferi's Protege, I accept. So even though that's not premium, I think just in the interest of pushing damage, even if we hadn't drawn the second Traitorous Greed, I think we are just firing this off here. So we choose, doesn't matter, red. And then we go to combat. Oh! We shouldn't have gone to combat. I knew there was a reason I had to do that pre-combat. Well, that's uncomfortable. Normally when you, that's the first time I've cast Traitor's Greed, in case that wasn't obvious. Normally when you do that, you attack with their thing and then sack it post-combat, but I had temporary mana, so I needed to do it pre-combat. Yikes, that's embarrassing. Okay. No matter. I think our hand's still good enough to get there. So, wish we had... Well, I think we just, at this point, eliminate Teferi's Protege and bash. And if they want to trade with Hobble Fiend, they can. We just need to try to close the game out as quickly as possible, because our opponent is going to be up cards on us after me throwing away Traitor's Greed. We did push a lot of damage, but it would be a lot better if we had pushed 1 less damage and our opponent's creature had been off the battlefield. But no matter. I don't think that punt's going to cost us the game. Feels good. And then if the opponent plays anything reasonable here, they're just dead. I guess that's not true, because we have to sack pre-combat, unless we draw a land. Top, Intimidation. All right, so we did draw the land. So let's do this right. Traitor's Greed, you. Red. Combat, smash. Put you to 2. And sacrifice Stormwing Entity. We got there. All right. 1-1, never punished. Let's go. All right, we're back here in round 3 with a good keepable hand. We've got Hobble Fiend, and we're assuming we're drawing a land into Deathbloom Thallid, I think. Lead on Swamp and say go. All right, gonna need that land, Magic Arena. I almost called this Magic Online. The graphics are a little bit better than Magic Online. Opponent with a pack leader, we bricked, which is pretty unfortunate, honestly. So we'll short sword and shoot up the Hobble Fiend and try to race. But I think missing a land drop against green-white might be pretty fatal here. Whoa, the opponent trading off pack leader feels great. So good use of our turn here. If I could choose for my opponent to block there, I would 100% of the time. And so now we get down Deathbloom Thallid, and we're right back in this game, assuming our opponent doesn't go off, which is always a danger with green-white. Gale Swooper. Okay, no blocks. We're going to jam here, and the race is on. And this is where hopefully you'll get to see Alchemist's Gift being good in this racing type situation. Because right now we are losing the race, and theoretically Sure Strike plus Alchemist's Gift can turn the race around for us on a critical last turn. Theoretically. I like no attacks with the Pride Malkin. And I like Burlfist Oak. We can attack into that. Easy peasy. So what do we want to do here? I think we suit up a Deathbloom Thallid. And our opponent's probably going to put Pride Malkin on the one that we suit up. We could just attack also. And then the question is, do we want to use Sure Strike or Alchemist's Gift here? I think it's so tough, right? I think I would rather use Sure Strike now and try to use Alchemist's Gift later. Even though Sure Strike pushes more damage on an unblocked creature. I don't know. That's a tough choice. And we're going to get smacked back here. Maybe that was wrong, because we're kind of priced into Alchemist Gifting next turn and not be dead. Burlfist Oak hits so hard. Yeah, this is going to be a tough game to win. We just missed too many land drops. That is not a good card. Okay, so what do we do now? I think we play a Heartfire Immolator and I think we attack our opponent here? No. I think we just hold everything back. We're very much dying, and I think we have to hope our opponent sends in the ground team as well. And if not, next turn we can attack with a Deathbloom Thallid and use Alchemist's Gift to not be dead. Oh, well, we do still have the hope that our opponent sends in the ground team. They do not. So, missed some land drops there, sitting at 1 and 2 now. We'll see you guys back for round 4. All right, we are back here in round 4, sitting at 1 and 2, backs against the wall. We got to keep. Got a couple 2-drops. Deathbloom Thallid if we draw a land, and Traitorous Greed into Havoc Jester if we draw... Like, this hand just wants to draw runner lands. I think I could win with these 5 cards if we drew lands the rest of the game in best of 1. Opponent on that Forest Life. That is not a land, so... I think we lead on. Honestly, normally we would be more interested in trading off Hobblefiend than Heartfire Immolator, but I think having Traitorous Greed in hand changes that a little bit. All right, we're gonna we could also save Scorching Dragonfire and try to get him with Sure Strike. I think we just want to get that out of the way though and push damage this turn. So get smacked. Sanctum, that is not where you want to be. Land, there we go. Now we're talking. I think our opponent is dead already. I'm going to declare it. If I were an emoting person and I were rude, we would spam the early good game emote here, but I am neither of those two things. I have emotes disabled because they tilt me, and I don't think I have the heart of someone that could spam an early GG. Sanctum. So good thing I didn't spam the early GG. Double Sanctum against our deck is really good. So let's attack and play a Hobblefiend and hope that we get there in a hurry before our opponent shocks all of our things with their red Sanctum. This is kind of a brutal combo too, because 5 mana is enough for them for the rest of the game probably. So every land, oh my lord, that's so gross. All right, this might be a quick 1-3. We might be getting punished for our smack talk here at the beginning of the game. And I hope YouTube, if you don't know me very well, I hope you know that all of this is in good fun. All right, our turn. So probably getting double shocked here would be my guess. We could, if we wanted, to save the Hobble Fiend, sack the Deathbloom Thallid, sack the Deathbloom Thallid if they target the Deathbloom Thallid first. I don't even know if that's good, and they didn't target the Deathbloom Thallid first. So I think we just let that go. And we play Havoc Jester here, and we hope Havoc Jester plus Traitorous Greed is good enough to get there. You know what would be sweet is if this gave you treasure tokens instead of just 2 mana. That would play a lot more well into the sacrifice theme with Havoc Jester and all that sort of stuff. That could be cool. I think we're going for Sure Strike here. If they don't just snap kill this. Oh, they're snap killing it. Okay. Not going for Sure Strike then. Deathbloom Thallid down. So we're waiting on our opponent to play a large monster to hopefully kill them with. Play a Colossal Dreadmaw. Drowsing Pteranodon. Okay. And a Pride Malkin. Okay. Put the counter on the Pteranodon. Our turn. Ooh, that's a card. Let's go. Game's easy, right? Opponent's going to sack the Pride Malkin, but this is like pretty firmly out of Sanctum range. That does not have reach. So we've just got our opponent here, right? Well, now we've really got our opponent here. Do I even want to do that? Feels... I mean, I guess we could force them to kill it. And if they do that, then we can... So here's what I think we do. So we can play Hobble Fiend, Traitorous Greed the Sabertooth Mauler, and if they go to shoot our Hobble Fiend, we can use the 2 mana floating to Sure Strike up Gourmand. So let's play the Hobble Fiend. See if they shoot it. Traitorous Greed this bad boy. And hopefully they concede. And if their last card's a land and they kill the Hobble Fiend, we can Sure Strike the Gourmand and win anyway. So it looks like we might not be punished for our savage smack talk. It's still going to put me on the path back to good behavior. All right, they do have the land, so now we get on with our other plan. Choose red. Sure Strike. And boom. Get domed. See you all in the next round. All right, so we're here in round 5. Back still against the wall, sitting at 2-2. And honestly, I think these are the hands you're supposed to mull in best of 1. Like, we've got 4 red cards. We need to draw a mountain. You just cannot afford to stumble in best of 1. So I'm going to ship that back and keep this. Bottoming what? Igneous Cur, maybe? That's really putting a lot of pressure on our Hobble Fiend to live. I think I'm into it, though. That's a good draw. Now all we want is all of the Deathbloom Thallids. And all we get is more swamps. No, don't stop. No, oh no. All right, Hobble Fiend down. Ugh. That's strong. Strong play from the opponent. We got a Snapdragon Fire on that, but feels pretty bad that we get 2 for 1 there. We are going to need some serious action. So 2-drop? No 2-drop. All right, let's Dragon Fire that down. And pass the turn. And we're doing that on our main phase just because there's Ranger's Guile, there's Titanic Growth, there's just things that blow you out in the format. And our double Traitorous Greed here looking pretty embarrassing. Looking less embarrassing. All right, I'm into it. Ooh, no, I did it. Order! Yikes. So if we had cast Traitorous Greed first, we could have done it that turn. Ugh. How do I beat that card? I mean, I guess we've got to Traitorous Greed it. Feels bad, though. Giving our opponent another 2 cards. We just don't have a way to deal with that otherwise. I guess we could wait until we draw Alchemist Gift, but it feels tough. So let's smash. And if they block the Warden of the Woods, we'll sack it at the Hobble Fiend. All right, we're not fine with this trade. I don't know. We're not winning this game. I have played loose, but I don't think even if I had played tighter that we are winning this game. Opponent's up 6 cards to our 1. And probably with larger monsters to cast than we've got. Oh, yeah. Quite dead. Sleepy boy. All right, Eliminate is a good draw. Maybe still in it. Maybe could have waited until they pumped mana into that. That also would have been a tighter play. When I think I'm losing the game, if I'm pretty confident, like I play my best Magic when I have like a narrow chance to win the game. Not like or that's not true. When my win percentage is like 20 or 30% to win the game, that's when I play my best Magic. I think right now I'm like 5% to win the game or something. Turn to Slag. We've gotten Turn to Slag a lot. I don't think that's a good card in the format, so feels kind of bad, man. Opponent doesn't have a 4-powered creature for that, though, yet, so that's good news. All right, Deathbloom Thallid down, and we don't get a Saproling. Not great. Opponent is drawing a lot. Oh. That's going to be game, I think. All right, a Glimmer of Hope. The Havoc Jester off the top. I think we are just getting buried in card advantage, though. Okay, let's pass it back. Hobble Fiend, sure. No blocks. Okay. We don't have enough mana to do the thing. 1 more mana and we will. So I think we just pass it back. Maybe we can steal this game somehow. Because we get to put pressure on Hobble Fiend also. So drawing a land here would be pretty great. All right, we did, in fact, draw a land. So let's take their Havoc Jester. Boom. Why is that a 4/4? Oh, because it's a cat. Dang. All right, let's add black. Which one's controlled by them? Okay, the one with haste. So let's do this. Sacrifice you. This is awkward. They get to just sack the Hobble Fiend now. No, because I get to do the damage first. All right, Poggers. So that did work the way we wanted it to work. And now they don't have a more than 4-powered thing? Am I back in this game? What's happening right now? There's a glimmer of hope. So they can put a +1/+1 counter on their Pteranodon. Oh, that's probably good enough, though, because that turns their Furious Rise back on. I don't know if they brick a few draw steps and we hit. Maybe? Okay. I mean, we got to attack with Gourmand, right? We have to try to close the game out. I'm getting hopeful. Hope's dangerous. This is going to feel bad when we lose now. I was ready to accept my 2-3, and now I want to win. Oh, no. What did they draw? I wonder if I was supposed to block the Mauler here. I think I was supposed to block the Mauler because otherwise they're going to be able to make it trade with Havoc Jester. So I think we take the 4 now in exchange for this not getting huge when they sack Portcullis Vine. They have another Mauler? Yikes. Well, good thing we blocked the Mauler. All right, give me something off the top. I mean, it's something. But they're going to be able to sack the Portcullis Vine. I think we got to keep attacking with the Gourmand. Decline. Attack. Otherwise, we just lose to Furious Rise. Although we could try to deck our opponent. Maybe that's not unreasonable. They have 13 lands on the battlefield, so that means they have 4 cards of action left, presumably. Shock is scary. But it doesn't kill anything we've got here. I think we block. Oh, it does kill something, though, because they can shock post blocks. That's bad for us. So we played Sure Strike. Sure Strike off the top is lethal. Come on, Sure Strike. More action and a reach creature? No. All right. That was an awkwardly close game for how sure I was going to lose it earlier. So brutal that we didn't get there. That does feel kind of bad now. So we ended 2-3. Just as a recap of what happens there or what went wrong. I don't know that anything went wrong, really. We did not get a clear direction in the draft. So one of our losses was to Ugin. One of our losses was to... I didn't play super tight that game, but I don't think we had a lot of options to do things differently. And then what was our other loss to? Trying to think back. I can't even remember. But this is a fine deck. I did misplay with Trader's Greed, but our misplays didn't cost us. And you see like just the learning curve from messing up with it once to understanding, okay, we can cast this to then have the mana to do the Hobble Fiend or the Gourmand. That's a good lesson to take away for me and for you potentially if you've not played with Trader's Greed yet. This deck looks fine. I don't think this is a bad deck. I think 2-3 is a little underperforming for it. I would expect this to go more like 5-3, I think, in best of 1 normally. But yeah, a fine little deck and an enjoyable run there. And hopefully my trash talk wasn't too off-putting for you. And I did realize a couple times I said you guys as we made the transition. I'm going to try to get that out of my vocabulary and try to say you all moving forward. So thank you again for watching YouTube. If you enjoy our content, reminder, please click like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Leave us a comment in the comments section. You can leave a hashtag never punished if you made it all the way to the end of the video so that I know that you made it here. And we'll catch you all for our next video. Bye, YouTube.